thing I like most about this car is that, you see, I'm walking towards it, and then it has unfolded. You can't see the daytime running lights, but of course, locking and unlocking automatically is not a big deal. But the big deal is that I can use this car like an EV. You see that? You just walk up to the car, hop inside, put it into gear, and you roll off silently, quietly. That's what I appreciate about this drivetrain the most. I have to tell you, even though I have reviewed the J7 before, I have driven the J7 before, I went to the launch, and I've been an owner of a plug-in hybrid vehicle before, but this drivetrain is superior. Not in power, not in, how do I put this? It's superior in its efficiency and also its implementation on how you use it daily. The main objective of this drivetrain is not to impress you with a, 4.6 second acceleration like that of the Volvo S60. It is in its flawless, almost flawless execution. Okay, let me mount you guys before I talk more about this. Then we go on the in-car walk around. Okay. Now in the Volvo, it's very obvious. I, as a previous owner, it's very obvious when the engine kicks in. You can totally hear the engine, and as we all know, it makes quite a sound when it comes in, and then when you are force charging the battery, it is even louder. And when you deplete your battery, both of those cars, the 3 Series and the XC90, they deplete their battery charge pretty quickly. Okay, and once depleted, you start it and run it like a normal ICE car, except it runs in a louder mode. Not just that, when it is depleted, they are extremely high fuel. They have extreme high fuel consumption, higher than were if your normal ICE. That is me as a past owner as well. We know that, so we always maintain some charge. Nevertheless, this one is weird. I haven't been charging it, and no matter how, it always hovers between 21, 22, 26, 27 when I go on longer drives. And then every morning when I walk up to the car, I can treat it like not just every morning. Every time after I park the car, I switched off the car, I walk back to the car, I turn it on. I don't even need to use the word I start the engine. I turned it on and then I just roll off like an EV. And when the engine comes in, I can barely hear it. Mostly it's because, I noticed this, mostly it's because the past few days has been pretty hot in the afternoon, and I'm blasting the air cons higher, more than half, it's like 60%. And because of these slim air vents, when you blast, every car that has slim air vents will sound louder when you blast the aircon at higher speeds, okay? But now that I have lowered the air volume, it is certainly quieter when the engine comes in. And, that's an XC90. And my kids still thought this is an EV, because we sort of use it like an EV. We walk up to the car and then we just go in and then put it in D and then off I go. It's in complete silence, all right? And it comes in when it comes in. I think, is the engine running? Okay, now here rolling off certainly is not, because whenever you come to a full stop and you roll off, they use the electric motor, and it's so smooth. And at every junction, when I merge into cars, I merge into traffic, I don't need to wait for the turbo boost to build up, because it just goes. And I think they have done an exceptional job in the drivetrain pairing and tuning and calibration on this. I kid you not, you don't feel even in the plug-in, okay, it has proper acceleration, but the way they integrate it is not for immediate drag race or what. Is when you are driving like that and you need to overtake a car, and you just felt your car has the power all the time. Now, of course, these cars are not made for sporty driving. It doesn't have a Macan in its crosshair. That's why the steering doesn't feel like a sporty car's steering. There's very little feel. But the chassis is well done. Just now when I turn in, the front end dive in, the weight pushes that side. There is no understeer. I don't feel understeer at all, like the car wanted to push out. None of that. And just that, of course, the steering has no sporty car kind of steering feel. All right, so it's the type of steering that they sort of weighs the same regardless. But the chassis control of the J7 is done really well. Every J7 driver will know the cars are nippy. All right. Now, this being a plug-in hybrid, it is supposed to be heavier, right? And when it's heavier, it is supposed to be clumsier, but it's not. Very interesting. See, I'm at 22%. Just now was 23, and every junction that I go, it just whizzed off. So you forgot about the electric motor and combustion engine pairing. You forgot about it, and I think by forgetting about what is powering your car, it's the best integration. Well done. It's very, very well done. And at 158,000, right, it's like, my. Now, of course, if you approach this car as, I want it to handle as well as a Macan, no, it won't. You treat it like a Harrier, see? Like a Harrier, right? Except the fact that it's 100,000 cheaper and it's super well built inside here. And for this price point, I don't expect, carbon fiber here, real aluminium finishing here. No, I don't expect that, but for what it gives me, heads-up display, panoramic roof, powered boot, and an extremely fuel-efficient drivetrain. Let me see the average now. Where do I go? Oh no, here. And I'm also learning how to use all the in-car stuff. See, I've been accelerating and pumping the car, and it's 4.8 liters to 100 km. The other day when I got the car, when I was like driving towards to my friend's place to pass him the car, it was like what, 1.9, 2.2 liters per 100 km. Figures that I'm not familiar with. It is genuinely practical on what they have done. I no longer care how big that engine is. Is it a 1.6? Is it a 2 liter? Is it a 2.2? Or is it a 1.5? I don't care. When the lights go green, I accelerate, I move. I just picked up speed and go. And the amazing part is I haven't even charged the car. Right? Yes, and it was rated to have 100 km of pure electric drivetrain, but of course not on hilly KL roads. For those who stay in KL, you would have known KL has a lot of hills, right? But to be realistic, I'm saying that, okay, realistically, if you don't accelerate or like crazy, you should get a 70 km range, which is pretty good, going to office and back. On the way, turn to the grocery or something like that. So in terms of implementation, for the past few days, I'm sold. I am sold. Now, of course, there are things on my wish list, right? I wish the driver's seat can angle a bit more upwards, but it has a range of adjustments that is, in terms of height adjustment, is pretty mad. And the range of adjustment on the steering wheel is not as wild as the range of adjustment on the seats. Now these are small, are they even complaints, you know, observations, all right? But yeah, I really do not know what am I rolling around with. Of course, I wish there is a mode that can change, you know. Okay, let's do a heavy throttle. See, the way this car pulls like that is definitely EV powertrain. And at which point the engine comes in, I couldn't tell. I really couldn't tell. Let me try and see. Later I go to a more empty road with less traffic. Try and give it a, try to give it full beans and see. See, just now down to 21%, now it's back up to 22%. How do they do it? I have no idea. And it seems like it never runs out of electric charge. I mean, by the logic of physics, I can never generate more power than what I put in, right? Because of drivetrain losses and all that, but it is weird. Can I? Thank you. Yeah, I just love whenever I put my foot on the throttle, you can tell the torque delivery definitely comes from the electric motor. And just when will it run out? It's interesting. Yeah, of course, it will fire up the engine to charge it and all that, but it's not obvious at all compared to what I had previously. Okay, let's give it full beans. There, I can hear the engine, but it's a humming sound. But I hear the electric motor going first. Then there's the hum. But, oh. Now, of course, all those power just to the front wheels may be the only one unavoidable flaw. I mean, for those who don't know, when you deliver too much power to front wheels, you will experience torque steer. Okay, this is a given on front wheel drive cars. You just can't avoid it. But for the amount of power that it delivers and that little torque steer, I think this is very well done. Right. For those who know the Mazda 3 MPS, just 230 horsepower and that car's front wheel is already pulling left and right. You have to fight it. This is very minimal. This is even more minimal than the previous generation Renault Megane 265, you know, which has that trick suspension to reduce torque steer, and all of us say, wow, very little torque steer. This is even less than that. And this one has more power, more torque. Come on, you merge, come on. Yes, I'm a good man, I'm a good guy. So, yeah man, I am highly convinced by why they call it the super hybrid system or something like that. Of course, their name could have been more explicit in explaining the technology, but they just give it a super word, which sounds a bit hyperbolic, but it's not. It is not hyperbolic. This is totally different from the system in the 3 Series hybrid in the F30 and the plug-in hybrid in the XC90 T8. This is well done. The objective is clear, not to win drag race, not to impress people with the speed, but to fully integrate and absolutely convincingly reduce fuel consumption. All right. I mean, for those who own the X5, the current generation X5 hybrid, with the 3-liter engine, you will know, right? When your battery power runs out, the fuel consumption is very high. I know that, all right? Even though it's fun when you charge it daily and you have that electric drivetrain usage, that was fun. And of course, they increased the range now, which is nice. But you know what I mean, right? the fuel consumption is high when it's fully depleted. This one never depletes, and I'm just amazed how they yeah, it's proper tech here. This is proper tech. Okay, let's continue. See, now it's down to 20% because I'm running the aircon. I'm stopped here, the engine is not running. Now, they changed here. In the petrol variant, you have the thing that looks like a gun, which is very cool. And then you have the gear lever over here, but they cleaned it up in this version. And now it will be your wireless charger, and here is not a wireless charger, it's just a phone holder. You can put two phones here. All right, and then there's no more gear lever. The gear lever is here, which I much prefer these days. I think Mercedes got it right by putting the gear lever here. And then this one operates the light, the signal, the wipers, everything. All right, and then this one controls this one. All you need to do is just to press the middle, so these options will come out, and then you can choose the different options. All right, and then you can scroll down under each to change what you're looking at. Your tire pressure sensor, your electric drive power, how much power you are using, and then you see my average 4.7, 4.8, even when I'm testing and full throttling and all that. Okay, so it's very efficient. It is very efficient. I truly trust this car can hit 1,000 km no problem on one full charge and full tank. 1,000 plus km no problem. That means potentially, if we follow the speed limit using this car, we can reach Phuket in one tank of fuel. Phuket. Okay. And here, of course, is for your music and all that. Over here, very simple. This is soft. This is soft. This is hard. This is nice. You know, like metal-like. Not our usual buttons. Okay. Chinese car makers like to do that. They have their special stuffs. This is rubberized inside. Remember, everything that you're looking at here, everything that I'm talking about, this car is 150,000. Okay. This is an aluminum grille, definitely an aluminum grille, laser cut. Okay. A little bit sharp in terms of its little grooves. Okay. Sony speakers down here. This is a little compartment. Okay, not covered in felt. Basic. And then your fuel cap. Your fuel cap. Yeah, I should check out the fuel cap and the charging cap later when I walk around. Okay. Your boot, and then your light switches and all that. Okay. This is pretty self-explanatory. Very. Oh, it doesn't turn. I thought it's the Volvo one, right? You turn to switch it off there. Okay, you pull all the way down, you close the vent all the way up. I think this knurled pattern would encourage people to turn, and everyone would be like, why can't I turn it? All right, so that's the heads-up display. It shows what the car sees. It shows your navigation, direction, and all that. All right, very bright if you like it to be bright. This one, you get all the information over here. Of course, I really liked what Zeekr did with their car, where this thing is fixed onto the steering column. So when you move the steering column, this little LCD follows it. I think that's a brilliant idea. That is a brilliant idea, right? But of course, this is clear as well. I get all the information I need. Overall, the build is all well, and see, it feels like that day I was in the Volvo EX30. There's no light at all. And see, Chinese cars give big mirrors. Very nice. All right. Nothing special here, but this is the type of wide angle rear view mirror that I'm not used to. I still need time to adjust my eyes focal point when I'm looking at it. Not used to it, but it certainly gives you way more information than the standard rear view mirrors. Okay. Nothing much, the same, diffuse lighting. Okay, and there's a little hidden hook point over here. When you are taking away stuff, tapao stuff and all that, you can hook it here. This one drops slowly, and there's a rubber mat in there, I don't know for what. Pen holders. Yeah, you look at the pen holder, it is a separate part because they know you will break it one day, and then you can buy one and just clip it in to replace. Not bad. Okay, all these are very well finished. Soft touch, You know, this pattern is nice, beautiful. This is cold to the touch, but I believe it's plastic, but it's nicely coated. Okay, that's your driver sensor, whether your eyes are looking on the road or whether you are yawning and sleepy and all that or not. Okay, flat bottom over here, so there's a lot of room. But the funny thing is, this steering wheel doesn't go low much. So see, this is the lowest. I wish it can go lower a bit, but if it goes too low, this blocks me. But for me to have a nicer driving position, I would like it to go a little bit lower, but I'm asking too much here. Okay, that's the lowest it will go. And then here you have a piece covering it. All right, here nothing much, just cup holders, very straightforward. When your keys are low battery, this is where you let the car sense your key. And this is for you to force it to go into full EV mode or the hybrid EV mode. Okay, and then this is to change the drive modes.
Sports mode.
Hey, why doesn't it show here? It should show here, right? I remember. Oh yeah, there we go. Eco mode.
Normal mode.
Remember in the petrol variant, the early batches, they call it the ECO mode. That was funny. Okay. Oh, this car, right? It has a very strict regime of not wanting anything to block what you are doing on the main screen. I'll give you an example. Just now, right? It goes back very quickly. Even the aircon, you know, sometimes I look around and then, oh, where do I adjust the seat? You know, it will go back. Eh? Why doesn't it go back? I remember it goes back pretty quickly. Or was it this car? Anyway, yeah, there we go. I don't know how many seconds was that, but it went back while I was trying to look for things. So you can turn on the ion, air purification, and then the seats are heated, right? The front two seats you can turn on heating. Last night, my daughter was like, "Oh, Daddy, too cold. Can you turn on the seat heater?" You know, and then ventilation. This is brilliant for Malaysian cars. This is brilliant. Okay, I love this, and you can immediately feel it. So, and there is a lot of stuff you can do with this infotainment system. You know, custom air conditioner, you know, when you want eco or comfort, or you want strong aircon, automatic cabin ventilation. You see, before the user unlocks the car, the air in the car will be changed automatically. Do you even know that? Right. Automatic cabin cleaning. Wait, don't go back first. What does that mean? After the user locks the car and leaves, the air conditioning starts automatically for self-cleaning. When high concentration of PM 2.5 is detected in the car, the air purification system will operate automatically. Defogging function. When the risk of fogging in the car is detected, the air conditioner will automatically turn on defogging function. These are all the little things that I guarantee you people will miss. Okay, let's look through again. I noticed a lot of all these small little things with this car. Okay. And under vehicle center, you have this, and everything is on the left side because this car used to be probably left-hand drive. Anyway, not too big of an issue. Central locking, rear boot to open it, you know, child window, lock it, or sunroof operation. Power mode, HEV is best, I believe. EV Plus means you really don't want to use petrol. Drive mode, I noticed very little differences, and sport mode just made the throttle pedal ultra sensitive, which is not needed. Why? Because every time I want to accelerate, I notice they always use the EV power first, which is very, very smart. Okay, near to unlock, far to lock, this works really, really well. You know, I walk away, I just close my door. Every time I park, I press P, I just close my door and then I walk away and then it's done. So I use it like an EV car. Okay, smart key induction tailgate opens. So I don't know how that works. Okay, headlight delay, you know, when you reach home and all that. And then this one shows you see your battery charge is now at 20%, and then it recommends me to stay at smart. All right, and then there's force. This is the force charge, the battery, and then it will warn you that please set a high fuel economy will be poor in this mode. All right, it tells you that. okay, and you want the car to force charge to what percentage? You want it to force charge to 50% or whatnot, you know? Very smart, very smart. Energy recovery intensity, basically when you off the throttle, how strong is the recuperation, all right? Pure electric mileage display, you want to display it in percentage or in mileage or in, you know, kms, you know. And then driving distance display, this one affects this. I don't understand HEV or total distance, and probably this one is to show us the hybrid drivetrain. How far has the hybrid drivetrain run? That means when it's total, it includes the engine and the hybrid motor, so it will definitely be more. This one shows you just the hybrid drivetrain, how much it operates, all right? I believe so, okay? So for example, now I'm at 7,051 km under HEV distance. If it is total, I'm at 7,386, slightly more. That means the hybrid always activates. Pure EV alone, 334 km. This probably is for the battery, I suppose. Yep. Vehicle settings, rear tailgate, how high does it opens, you know, when you lock or unlock the car, you want light and speakers to go together or just the lights, you know. Wireless charging, you can turn it off so that when your phone, you don't need it to charge. I mean, when it charges, obviously your phone will be warmer, but at least when this activates, the ventilation activates as well, so it's not that warm. I tell you, car makers that gives you a wireless charger without a ventilation, right, you don't even need to use it. You can forget about it. It just heats up your phone, all right? Steering force mode associated with driving mode. I find the steering too light. I put it to sport, it is still light, but I don't mind, because this car's proposition is not to go against the Macan. It's not a sporty SUV, it's a family SUV, all right? Brake pitch control, brake sensitivity, I guess. Yeah, let me try low, see how it feels, okay? Braking feel linked to driving mode. I'm not sure about that. I don't feel much. Whatever the car is doing probably is doing something that just that I didn't know, which is a good thing when it comes to technology, right? Heads-up display, steering wheel adjustment heads-up display, meaning, or whether to activate this or not. Okay, that's about it. Height adjustment. This is for the heads-up display. Driver assistance. Now, one thing I really appreciate about this car is whatever I set here, it doesn't reset it. Okay, I switch off the lane departure warning and lane departure prevention. It has remained off ever since. Okay, I appreciate that. I switched off the overspeed warning, which is the car will read the road markers, right, and tell you this road is at, you know, what speed limit and all that. I turned it off. It has never come on again. I appreciate that. I love it. This one is all right. It's daytime now. You can't see much. You guys won't be able to see much. But at night, it's pretty bright. Okay. Vehicle comfort. I mean, this one is adjust rear mirror adjustment and all that, or rear view mirror. Seat. Oh, this one is their translation. This is just easy entry, you know. So when I switch off the car, the seats will go back and all that. In-car child detection, very good. Nothing much. Bluetooth, sound adjustment. Huyo. I appreciate Chinese cars. They do that. Every different type of sound, you get to set a volume. This is brilliant. That's how it should be, right? That's how it should be. And I remember I was, this is more than 15 years ago, I was in an Audi A8 driving with my wife, and we were blasting the stereo because we were genuinely enjoying the Bose sound system in that car. And suddenly a phone call came in. And we have no option to change how the phone call sounds. We were listening to our music, and all of a sudden, that phone ringing sound is, wow, it's deafening. It gave us a shock. So it's good to be able to adjust it and then display wallpaper. I'm not sure if you can change different. Oh yeah, you can change different wallpapers. Yeah, something more interesting lah. Yeah, this is much nicer. Applies wallpaper. Will you go back to the screen where I was? Yes, nice. What is IPC theme? Yeah, this one looks okay lah. We just remain with this one or this one. All right, let's stick with this one. Yeah. All right. All right. All right. Oh, now I can see. Oh, this is more classic. Again, this looks like more. Okay. System. Yeah, your date and all that. Device manager, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. All these are there. Okay. What is this? Oh, this is music. This is to music. That's a Beats icon, right? This one is your app. When you swap between apps like a phone. Yeah, that's much nicer. All right, but of course I wish it has, like how Zeekr does it. You can play around with the car, and then there are certain icons there. You can use that multiple ways to operate things in this car. Okay. And down here we have a compartment. Sorry, I left my stuff over there. There's a compartment over here. Okay, and it's rubberized, very nicely rubberized. I appreciate that they give you two types of USB port, USB-A and USB-C, and then a 12-volt socket over here. What is this? I do not know. Probably fuse access. Nothing much here. You can stuff your stuff down here, which is nice. Here is pretty spacious as well. Some cold air can flow in, a little bit of it, but no ports, nothing inside here. Okay. And car makers don't need to do the S-Class, the thing that opens both way. No. This is perfect. Put it in half, opens up, front passenger, rear passenger can have access. You know those armrests that opens up like that? Basically, if you are in the rear seat, you can't see whatever is inside. You can't access it. Those that open like that, they look fancy, right? But actually it's pretty dumb. Sophisticated mechanism for not much of actual usage. This is perfect. Left, right, everybody can use it, and not a complicated mechanism. Of course, some cars would link the gears on both sides, so when you close one side, the other side follows to come down, which I don't think is a good idea, because sometimes you can do this. Right? If this person is asleep, has her arm here, then when you open, just one side comes up. You still can access your stuff. All right? This one is wonderful. Having a Boss switch over here is wonderful, because when I send my kids to school, nobody is sitting in front. I do that for my son because his legs are pretty long. I just let him rest. And then this morning my daughter says she wants to sit in front, she wants to play with the ambient lighting, so I just adjust it for her, when she comes in. And this is also nifty. Okay, you can adjust the height of it. I don't understand why there are luxury cars that don't even have this. 5 Series, I'm asking you, why? Is that so much of a cost to do that? Come on, 5 Series. All right. Speakers are good, but remember this is a 150,000 ringgit car. All right, don't compare it with stuffs like Bang & Olufsen, Burmester, and all that. Okay, now leave the key here, and then I will walk out from the car. I believe that should keep the aircon running, keep the car running. That's my sitting position there. Okay. Yep. So this is me at the back seats. I'm 5'11", 100. I always tell people I'm 179 cm from my school days of measuring my height until the other day I was at Jabatan, doing my passport. I'm actually 180, so I grow taller in my 40s. This is nice. Okay, you have separate pockets for your phone, for your different things, for your iPad. This is nice. Okay, same thing, USB-A, USB-C, aircon vent over here. This is not a luxury car in the sense of 200 over 1,000 where they can afford to have aircon vents over here, which I think aircon vents here are brilliant. Okay, overall, the seats are comfy. Sorry for the little scraps of stuffs that my kids munch on, you know, biscuits and all that. The floor is flat. I appreciate that. Okay, just like an EV. Okay, and then I didn't know that it can open more or open all. Let me try. Okay, is that the max? Oh, so the blind opens up max to this, really? Yeah. Okay, why does it? What does that mean? Let me understand this. Did I switch off something? Why does it allow me to open it? Is the car started? I'm not sure if the car is started. Let me try. And later I go back to the front. Alright. This one has 2 cup holders in the middle, just like that. And a seat back angle. Can I adjust? No, right? I don't think I can adjust. Am I sitting? Hey, I'm sitting higher. Then there we go. Yeah, this is a good angle. This is a good seat back angle. Comfortable. Like over here. And you have this little wing shape here, sort of stopping your head from rolling off. Some effort there. I don't think it's gonna stop your head, but at least it's a concave there. Alright. And that's the tonneau cover at the back there. And there are 2 little hook points at the back. I don't know what's that for. Oh yeah, that's the yeah, I forgot about that. Totally forgotten about that. So this is one of the rare cases where you have a plug-in hybrid that can do AC or DC charging. Most plug-in hybrids can only do AC charging. This one can do DC as well. That is brilliant. Not only that, it can do vehicle V2L. V2L is using the vehicle to power your electrical devices, and that's a brilliant thing. So this is, let's try this. That's the hook points. You get 2 hook points. You get a 12-volt socket at the back. Yeah, I find this light at night, it glares my eye. Okay, it would be nice if it is more diffused. Okay, where do I go? Where do I go? Is this supposed to... Am I supposed to mount it here? How is it done? Actually, I have no idea how to do it. I'm looking for a shape like that. And I'm supposed to hook up this part, this top part, to this. Right, like that. And then I pull this down. Oh, it will retract back. Wait, yeah, I'm supposed to do this. This is supposed to come down all the way. Oh, it will just hold itself, is it? Because... Oh yeah, it holds well there, easily. And why they make it white in color? Because when you go for camping, this is your projector screen. You can use the car to power a projector, and then the projector can project your things here. You can have your barbecue, your table and chair and all that, and you can enjoy a movie together with your friends. That is very clever. You don't need to carry another projector screen around in the car. You just make use of the underside of your tonneau cover. This is one of the smartest things ever. But of course, if they come up with an option for you to have an in-car projector that can connect your sound output source to the car. See what they use? They use the thick type. This can, properly soundproof the undercarriage sound. Does it a lot better than the thin type, that were a lot of Japanese cars use. All right. The boot is spacious enough, not the most cavernous, but it is spacious enough. Okay. Oh, now the car is started. Oh, so just now I'm in off mode. Now it opens. Yeah. There we go. All the way to the back. Oh, lovely. So, tell me, 150 plus thousand is one of the best cars I've tested in terms of how they implement what they promise. And it's also one of those cars where initially, after having driven the petrol, I kept telling myself, what's the point of launching a plug-in hybrid when the petrol is that good, at that price and all that? If the hybrid comes in at 180 or 190,000, and I have this thinking of all the plug-in hybrids that I've tested, I've driven, right? They all focus on, it's able to give you more power during acceleration and all that, and then the juice will run out, and then high fuel consumption and all that will come in, which never happened with this car. So I will buy this over the petrol. This is the first time in a lot of cars where both drivetrains are available. We keep telling people, I just buy the petrol variant, like 5 Series and all that. But this is genuinely beneficial, and it is substantiated with the usage experience over the next few days. Because the first time I tested it at Sentul, when they launched the car, I went drive around and said, wow, torque steer. Again, wow, torque steer. I was looking for power. And because that was what most other plug-in hybrids offer, right? More power. And at the back of my head, I know once you run out of juice, you're going to have a very high fuel consumption. So when I was driving around Sentul, okay, it's still nippy like the J7 is. And then, torque steer. Not a lot, but there is. Definitely you can notice it when you go full throttle. And then after using it a few days, driving long distance, seeing the fuel consumption, it's like, my God. Yeah. I am impressed with this drivetrain. And at this price, this is a bargain. All right. There are things like the navigation couldn't find my kids' school.
Okay, opening the navigation.
All right. You see the part where I mentioned this car behaves like an EV? I stop the car, open the door, aircon is still running. I just walk out of the... Okay. I open the door and then my seats reverse. Just close the door. And then I don't even need to think about it. I just walk away and then the car will lock itself. Right? Yeah, there we go. It locked. And then I just walked off. Yeah. I also noticed another thing. See, now I'm gonna full accelerate. When I do a full acceleration of this car, I cannot hear the engine screaming. That was a full throttle just now. I'm sure the engine has fired up, but I just can't hear it. For its segment, I cannot compare this to a 400,000 ringgit Lexus soundproofing. But even in my old 400,000 ringgit XC90, which has rather good soundproofing, when I do a full acceleration, I can hear the engine. This one I don't hear the engine even when I'm going full throttle. Okay, let's try this. Okay. This is not a selling point I'm trying to tell you. It's something I observe. Okay. I hear the tire squeal. I don't hear the engine. It's pretty interesting. it feels like an EV, which I'm sure the engine had fired up. Very interesting. And the gear shifts and all that is just super smooth. It drives like an EV. It's just that it's not as fast as those pure EVs. You know, those pure EVs with four-wheel drive, they just launch you off. It's not, but it has serious. I mean, it is able to follow at serious speeds. I don't mean it will win any 0 to 100 competition. It wasn't tuned for that. So the guys at Jaecoo or Chery, for that matter, Chery, they know what they want to do with this car. And it's so smooth. This kind of smoothness is better than any ICE equipped Chinese cars I've driven. So I think all Chinese car makers, because they're so good in their electric and motor drivetrain, right? When they suddenly integrate this into their ICE, which in ICE, pure ICE terms, they lose out to the Germans. But when they mix these two together, seems like suddenly they're ahead. It's just so smooth. The chassis of the car is definitely a lively chassis. It's just that the steering wasn't set up to give you that sort of sporty, direct feel. Because as you dive into a turn, it doesn't understeer. It'll just sit there and allow you to continue accelerating. But of course, you have to be careful with the power. If not, you're going to trigger the traction control that's going to come in. But the chassis of it, interesting.